Hi Year 5, I just wanted to show you one other way that you could use the mathspot.com website to help you with some of your fraction work for this week. So, as I said before, you can go to mathspot.com and then scroll down until you get to manipulatives, where you'll find bar modelling. And when you go into bar modelling, just as I said before, you've got the bar there. And I'd make it a bit bigger just so you can really see clearly what it is that you're doing. The question I want us to have a little go at is 2 wholes and 4/10 subtract 1 whole and 4/5. And the reason why I had a look at this one was because I've got denominators here which are actually different. So I've got a whole which is split into 10 and a whole which has been split into 5. But the wholes are still the same size, they've just been split up in a different way. So to start with, I think I'll make my starting amount, because when I'm subtracting, I've got my amount and it's how much I'm taking away from it. So let's start with that. I'm going to have 2 wholes, 1 whole, and there comes another whole there. And then I need to make one which has got 4/10. So I need another bar, but this one, it will be in 10 parts, and I've got 4 of them. So let's fill in these as well. So I've got my starting fraction now, 2 wholes and 4/10. Now I want to take away 1 whole and 4/5, but that's not so easy because my denominators are different. So I might just add a bar here just to help me to think about it. I'm just going to split it into 5 parts for a moment, just so I can see that fifth. And lots of us will know, because we're quite good with our equivalent fractions now, that 1/5 is the same value as 2/10. And I think the bar modelling app is really helpful here to show us that. So I've got my 2/10 is the same as 1/5. Right, I'm going to delete that one now because that wasn't part of my question. So 1 whole and 4/5, I could change that. And I could say that's the same as having 1 whole. So 1 whole and 4/5 is the same as having 1 whole and how many tenths? Well, not quite sure how I did that. Let's delete that one. So if I've got my 1 whole and my 4/5, and now I want to say I've got 1 whole and so many tenths, I know to change my denominator from a 5 to a 10, I've multiplied that by a factor of 2. And to find an equivalent fraction, I have to multiply my numerator by the same factor. So that must mean I also multiply it by 2. So that would be 4 times 2 is 8. 1 whole and 8/10. And thinking about it, if I said that there were 2/10 for every 1/5, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So I can sort of change my question now and think about it instead as 2 wholes and 4/10 subtract 1 whole and 8/10. That's a little bit easier to think about, but I still want to use my bars to help me. So first of all, I've spotted something here that I can do. I've got some holes, 2 holes and 1 hole. So I'm going to take that hole away first of all. So that's 1 hole taken away. And so I've done that first part. Now I need to take away 8/10. I've only got 4/10 here, but I'll do that first. So I think, right, so I've taken away my 1 whole and I'm going to take away 4/10. And I'm going to keep that down here because then I can keep track of what I've done. I've got 1 whole left over. Still got to take away another 4/10 to have taken away 1 whole and 8/10. So with this whole, well, I can split that into 10 parts, can't I? 10 equal parts. I had all of them, so I need to make sure it's fully filled in as well. And how many parts did I still have to take away? I've taken away 1 whole and 4 parts, but I need to take away 8 parts. So I've got another 4/10 that need to be taken away here. So I'm going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4/10. And I might just pop them down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, because then I can see it. And I can say I've got here now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/10 up here. And down here, I've got 1 whole and 8/10. So I know now I've taken away the right amount. And therefore my answer is 6/10. I hope that that website might be really useful for you. As I said before, you can use this on the internet, on a laptop, or you could use it on your phone or a tablet. I hope it will help you with your maths.